And Ramadan, it is not an easy ibadah. To stay away from food for the entire day, it is not an easy ibadah. But somehow, for the believer, it becomes easy, isn't it? Somehow for the believer, like when you cross that threshold, it's just as if, no man, I need to do this and I can do this. And eating is suddenly not an option. I'm talking about for a believer now. Eating is not an option. You cannot do that. You feel I'm talking about you when you're talking to yourself. It's not the option. Achter die bak. That's other people, not me. I recognize that I have to make myself humble in front of Allah. I recognize the fardiyah of this ibadah. This is the way we approach it. We recognize the fardiyah of this ibadah. And we engage in it. After Jumu'ah on Friday, someone became Muslim. And I took him through the arkans of Iman and Islam. And then I came to Siyam, and I told him, and it's Ramadan now. I told him, so you have to fast tomorrow. He looks at me and he says, yes. Allahu Akbar. You see what Islam does? One day, you're doing as you please. Then Allah puts into your heart hidayah. Then the next day, you become Allah's slave and you do as Allah pleases. You do what pleases, rather, you do what pleases Allah, not what pleases yourself. And this is the basair. This is the insight that we're talking about. This is looking through the makarih, looking through the difficulty. Having the ability to take the difficulty head on. You know, in the Battle of Badr, which happened on the 17th of Ramadan, you know, the Sahaba, they were willing. They were willing participants to put their life on the line for Islam. They were willing participants. They were willing. Your life is your most sacred possession. You have nothing more sacred than your life. It is the most sacred thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given you. And then you have the companions of the Prophet who says, we will take this life and we will give it to Allah in Allah's way. It means they've got the ability to give everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after 9/11, Muslims became afraid to talk like this. That you can give everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because there's a other type of a spin on it. You know, the West, they put a spin on everything. But the reality still stands. The reality still stands. So let us not be afraid of difficulty. Difficulty is just a stepping stone. Especially that you're enduring for the sake of Allah. It is just a stepping stone to proximity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if a person is sick, then what do? What is the dua that you tell the person? You say, La ba'sa tahurun insha'Allah. You tell the person, no problem, don't worry. Tahurun. It's purification. Insha'Allah. This that you are experiencing, it is purification, and what does purification mean? Purification means what you are experiencing now, it's going to bring you closer to Allah. And ask any person who has ever been close to death, and ask them, How is their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How was it at that time? Maybe some of you got experiences, near-death experiences. If so, think about, ponder about how was your relationship with Allah at that moment. That is why when you visit the sick person, you must ask the sick person to make dua for you. So some people go to the sick person and they say, "Hy sê even salig. Ek is meer saliger as hom." I mean, some people we think like this. But ek moet vir hom vra om dua te maak vir my. Ek moet dua maak vir sy hidayah. Hy is nooit in die masjid. But you're instructed to ask him. You